We are standing in one of the most amazing and beautiful settings on earth. This hilltop overlooks the town of Chambon, France, home of the 2014 CHAMBON SUR JEEP event.
We came to the CHAMBON SUR JEEP event, which is the annual meeting of all the Jeep lovers in France and beyond, because they come from surrounding European countries to celebrate their passion for the Jeep, which is very strong in France.
We love a Jeep. It's practically a religion.
4 hours south of Paris are the villages of Saint-Nectaire, Murol, and Chambon sur Lac.
If you've never been to France, this is kind of like four-wheeling around Ouray, Colorado, Silverton area.
Ah, the south of France, home of one of the largest Jeep events in Europe.
Magnificent old buildings everywhere you turn, made of stone everywhere. It's amazing.
Known the world over for quiet villages, lush green fields, and a peaceful, serene, slowed-down pace, the entire ambiance is put on hold for the next 4 days so that men can be boys. Didn't we all want to be policemen? As with any well-organized event, registration and pre-event mingling is an important part. Saint-Nectaire was chosen as the host village. The wonders of Saint-Nectaire were compounded as an assortment of Jeeps that spanned the ages converged on this tiny village, celebrating the 19th year of the event. But this year was different. The club invited Dan Mick, well-known Jeeping legend. Well, they also invited me, but I think really more just to protect Dan from the ladies. With two Jeeping powerhouses in the same place, the crowds were pure pandemonium. The south of France conjures images of vineyards and amazing scenery. Jeeping doesn't exactly come to mind. From treasured antiques to full-on buggies, every type and model of Jeep is represented. Amphibians, J10s, Willys, YJs, CJs, WJs, XJs, and JKs, just about any combination of letters you can think of. It's a Jeep show beyond compare. Jeeps were born to wheel, and that's exactly what they did. Now, if you think that the U.S. has a corner on Jeeps, think again. The Jeeping tradition runs deep here in France, all the way back to the beaches at Normandy.
Well, the Jeeps here, we've seen a lot of the flat fenders, the military Jeeps that were left here by the boys during World War II. They've been worked on by the French Army, and they've been surplused by the French Army.
It's coming from 1944, when the U.S. forces landed in France to liberate France. And that's how the passion started for the Jeep, which is the symbol of liberty for the French people.
The USA helped France to rebuild the country, because the Germans have very broken all the country in France, and we need many trucks and cars to rebuild the France.
We were surrounded by classic World War II vintage Willys, restored to beyond belief perfection. It's nice to be in a place where America is remembered as a hero. Passionate French Jeep collectors have taken the Willys and restored and preserved them. Their efforts ensure that the legacy of Jeep will not be forgotten.
moi, la Jeep, c'est simple. Mes parents étaient dans les Ardennes, ils ont vécu l'occupation, ils ont connu l'exode. Donc ils ont connu la misère, la ferme avait été réquisitionnée par les Allemands et la Jeep c'est le symbole de la libération. Ça c'est le premier volet. Le deuxième volet c'est que mon père était militaire et de temps en temps il rentrait à la maison avec la Jeep.
Et moi j'avais pas de personne de militaire dans la famille. Et ici, mon père n'était pas passionné du tout par ça. Et ça a été juste par des balades avec des collègues, des balades. Au départ, c'est du sponsoring pour un club, et puis ils m'ont invité avec eux, et puis voilà, la passion est venue comme ça.
Originally, these little marvels were built with a life expectancy of 90 days. But here in France, they stand the test of time, rolling monuments to freedom and the sacrifices made to preserve it. Each Willys owner has his own reason for restoring his Jeep, but several proved that the Willys still has prowess, and they were more than willing to demonstrate. The drivers relentlessly pushed their Jeeps. And when needed, they got by with a little help from their friends.
Donc avec ça, n'importe quel petit chemin, ça devient une bagarre entre la voiture et le pilote pour avancer. Avec les voitures modernes, ils ont l'anti-bloquage, l'EPS, l'ABS, ils ont tout ce qu'il faut. Il n'y a plus de charme comme avec celle-là.
Avec la Willys, des fois, pour pouvoir passer, il faut se battre avec la voiture.
Ouais.
On sent la voiture avec ses tripes et c'est comme ça qu'on peut avancer. Sur un JK, un Rubicon, on appuie sur des boutons et l'électronique travaille toute seule. C'est moins agréable.
TeraFlex understands that bond. That same control and feel is continuously strived for and present in the Jeeps we accessorize today. Once you have a feel for your Jeep, it's amazing how much more capable it will become. TeraFlex's Jeep roots run deep. In 1959, MEPCO, or Military Equipment Parts Company, emerged to fill the need for Jeep parts created by that ever-increasing demand for the off-road experience. Jeepers around the world all have the same passion for their rides. Once the seed is planted, we're hooked. Building a Jeep is an art. It's an extension of the driver. A Jeep build may start out with a basic accessory upgrade, but morph into a highly modified, purpose-built creation. It's happened to all of us. There's just so much potential lurking in our Jeeps. And it's no different here in France.
You must build Jeeps professionally, is that what you do? Non, je suis chocolatier en France, et donc c'est ce qui me donne la force de monter les rochers, parce que je mange beaucoup de chocolat. Et le nom de ma pâtisserie, c'est le site, c'est neuillerie.joël.fr pour la pâtisserie, chocolaterie à Mâcon, en France.
Joel was able to build a Jeep using carefully chosen components and make it work. He maneuvered his creation with finesse in an almost effortless driving exhibition. You just won first place in the unlimited class at the Rock Crawls. What got you into jeeping?
Oui, je suis très content d'avoir gagné. J'ai fabriqué moi-même cette Jeep parce que j'ai voulu la restaurer et donc la retransformer du mieux que je pouvais. Et je suis content du résultat parce que avec tous les équipements, le TeraFlex et toutes les pièces US, voilà, j'ai pu arriver en haut et gagner le challenge.
Having built his Jeep, he definitely had the feel for it. Today, he and his Jeep are the most capable team on the hill, and that's saying something. An event of this magnitude requires a full complement of sophisticated recovery equipment. Nothing brings the boys to the yard like a big ol' inflatable Jeep. French Jeep enthusiasts seem to come in all sizes, and everyone is welcome. 19 years and going strong, any attending this year's event is already making plans for next year. But when the entire group did a mass trail run to the overlook of Chambon, the conditions were perfect. Hundreds of Jeeps in a setting made possible because of our common passion. This was the setting when Dan Mick met his French clone. There was magic in the air. Was it the ambiance of the French countryside or the warm familiarity of his own reflection? Sometimes it's just best to let him finish.